I have a real knack for making videos about the most unknown shit on the internet, don't I? It's like I want my subscriber count to be complete ass. So anyway, Suikoden. I already stated before that I love the second one, but recently I also started playing some of the other games in the series and absolutely loving them. So what else was there for me to do other than make a video about it? And what other topic could I choose besides the enormous cast of playable characters? There's only a couple of... Okay. For one, I'm limiting this list to the recruitable characters, much to the disappointment of anyone who wanted to see Mr. Blight turn up, but... yeah, there's no joke here. It's just but. And secondly, I'm not including any characters from Suikoden 5. Because honestly, I haven't played it. Maybe I'll do an extra list someday, I don't know. We'll see. Anyway, let's start with the top 13 Suikoden characters. Because I was too lazy to make a top 15. You know what's just great? Hyping up international fans for a new, highly anticipated sequel to the Suikoden franchise. Make it a Japanese exclusive. Sure, there's always the English fan patches to rely on, but my internet's a potato. This is why number 13 is kind of a last minute addition, since I just recently got the ability to play Kenzo Suikogaiden Volume 1, The Swordsman of Harmonia. But honestly, I didn't really need it to understand the amazingness of Nash. Nash Latkje? What? This guy is first introduced in Suikoden 3 as a Harmonian spy, and a pretty fucking bad one at that. Not more than a few minutes into his introduction, he already blows his entire cover. But then again, a lot of people love him for it. The best way to describe Nash is basically a laid-back flirt, which is kinda weird considering he actually has a missus back at home. But actually, who cares? But Nash's high point is definitely during the Swordsman of Harmonia, where he is actually the main character. The interactions between Nash and the other playable characters of the Suikoden franchise are so stupid and comical, they could make for their own fucking sitcom. Nash, let's just hope your missus, whoever she is, approves of all your female companions. But looking at some of the material you have to work with... nope, you're fucked, Nash.
I just want to get real sad.
Poor Kiba. Why does everyone just forget about you? Yeah, Nanami died, boo-hoo. Not a reason to forget the sexiest man in Highland. Sure, everyone has his own opinion, but this bugs me. Nanami's death is treated like it's fucking JoJo material and Kiba's insert stock meme. Add to that the fact that Kiba was literally sent on a suicide mission, which he clearly knew, and the fact that Nanami was revived afterwards, and you basically know why I hate the Suikoden fandom. Nanami gets to live and see the end of everything they worked towards, and Kiba can stay down that godforsaken hole they threw him in. She probably pissed on his grave too. Also, get this. Oh hey man, your sister died, you okay buddy? Oh hey Klaus, your fucking father died. Now back to your terribly asymmetrical corner. I salute you, my good sir. In the second Suikoden game, neither Joseph Stalin, Gustav, or his daughter Lily seemed like very interesting characters. Too many stereotypes, I'm afraid. Gustav is a typical no-nonsense Mr. Serious Pants, and Lily is every little girl you've ever seen ever. But Lily's still got potential. Give her a couple of 15 years and maybe she'll... Okay, so I consider myself to be a person of moderate intelligence. I'm not a genius, but I'm certainly not a complete idiot either. So then why did it take me more than 2 months to realize that these two are the same character? Then again, maybe I was thrown off by the fact that Gordon and Gordon also aren't the same Gordon. But anyway, back to Lily. Oddly enough, Suikoden 3's Lily is even more childish than her 15-year younger counterpart. She's bossy, arrogant, has no idea of how the world around her works and expects everything she wants to be done immediately. Much to the dismay of her two useless meat bags of guards. Samus, whose only redeeming factor is his name, and Reed, who's just freed without the F. or anything else that may treat good. Look at his fucking pompadour! But still, for some odd reason, I kind of like her. Her design, for one, is really damn good. And her childish manner of acting and speaking kinda reminds me of one of my best friends, if you can believe that. So I'm probably biased, but I still really like Lily. Aside from good fighters, every army needs other essential shit. Things like fishermen, cartographers, dancers, scriptwriters, gamblers? Most of these people in the Suikoden games give you gameplay advantages like Vicky's teleportation or Muto's storage house, or minigames. And I can safely say that the minigames in the Suikoden games are complete garbage. Yamku's fishing is boring, Karen's dancing game is too simplistic to be fun, besides, it's fucking DDR. And don't even get me started on Shilo's Chinchirore. That game just wanna makes me throw controllers across the room. But aside from Mike's Kabu, there's one really good game. And you can only play it when you recruit... well... it's me! Hayo! Hayo's cooking minigame is the stuff of dreams. After you recruit Hayo, which really isn't difficult seeing as he's right on my goddamn roof for some reason. What? Who the fuck? Don't... guards! Lunatic on my fucking roof! Your reward is the cooking contest minigame. The concept is really simple. Because he's apparently a famous chef or something, I don't know. Will be challenged multiple times by other chefs wanting to test their skills against him. Your job is to create a menu using the various recipes you've earned in the game and present them to a jury consisting of other Stars of Destiny. And that same jury will give you points afterwards. As I said, this is a very simple concept. But this game is weird as shit. From the moment these orange letters appear on the screen, this kitchen becomes a fucking war zone. Hayo is cutting shit with the speed of a fucking machine gun. The announcer teleports around the room every 5 seconds. Also, catfight! And meanwhile, I'm sitting here slamming buttons like my life depends on it. And this music sure ain't helping me either. It starts out slow and comical, but later very subtly tells you to hurry up, fuckface! Come on, come on! Yes, finally! Jury, I will execute every one of you and your entire family if you dare to give me low points. Thank you. God damn it, Saitomo, you're fucking dead! The saddest thing about the fact that Suikoden now belongs to Konami's vault is the fact that a lot of questions and mysteries are just left unanswered. What does the Harmonian High Priest Hikusaki actually look like? What exactly is the relationship between the Dark Knights Pesmerga and Yuber? Are Barbarossa, Ragnar, and Windy really dead? But most importantly, what in the world is Jeane?
Jeane.
Yeah, okay, whatever, Jeane. Throughout the entire Suikoden franchise, Jeane appears as a rune mistress, wearing considerably less in each succeeding game. Everything about Jeane is clouded in mystery. Ja, okay. Michiel Frooijen wil een shout-out. Fuck my leven. Her agelessness and immortality could be easily explained by saying she has a true rune, but that's not the case. Even though her charm rune is unique to her, the developers have stated that it isn't actually a true rune. This even further mystifies her existence, as well as her appearance in Suikoden 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, Card Stories, Tactics, Suikoden Volume 1, and Pachisuoru. That's 9 fucking games, making her the most prominent character in the entire Suikoden franchise. This of course makes her incredibly interesting. Sadly, her personality is that of a very typical femme fatale, and I don't think that was a very good choice. I did hear she gets a lot better during the events of Suikoden 5, but fuck that shit! But the mystery is definitely the best part about Jeane's character, so I don't think it should ever be revealed what she really is. But it's always fun to think up random theories, so what's mine?
9/11 was an inside joke.
No, wait, not that kind of theory. God, I love these two. Stoltheheim Rieinbach, may God have mercy on us all, the third. Suikoden 4 is definitely not an improvement to the far superior Suikoden 3. Laszlo runs like a woman, Laszlo looks like a woman, and Chipu looks like he'll kill me in my sleep. And this encounter rate is fucking bullshit. I'd rather not fight 37 random encounters to cross an ocean of 2 kilometers, thank you very much. Even though the encounter rate really fucking blows, you get a nice ship to play with. And you all know what that means.
Oh shit! You're hard fitted indeed. Being a pirate is a wretched deed. Do what you want cause a pirate is free. You are a pirate.
But this walking joke of a man, this is dedication to your goddamn franchise. In the previous games, the player often had the choice to give himself, or Flick in Suiko 2's case, the name of Stoltheheim Rieinbach the Third whenever a fake name was required. And since then, it's become a running joke throughout the series. This joke reached a stupidly epic climax when Rieinbach the Third was made into an actual character in Suikoden 4. Do I even need to explain why I like him? Just fucking look at him! Something else they added in Suikoden 4 was voice acting, which can be very terrible if not handled properly. Which is one of the many reasons I hate his servant Mickey, but that's for another time.
You cut little Daisy, didn't you?
Go die in a fucking hole, Mickey! But Rieinbach is just the right blend of talent and absolute stupidity that fits Rieinbach so well.
This is terrible! If the master hears of this... Oh...
I heard, Mickey.
What is it with me adoring feminine men? No, I'm not fucking gay, but Rieinbach sure as hell is. They could have simply made Rieinbach another stupid side character that you probably put in your party one time and then throw him out because he's complete garbage. Aside from being pretty viable in combat, Rieinbach wields the Lofty Star, which was previously held by Teresa Weissmail and fucking Salome. Why is this dipshit so fucking important? All around, as I said, Rieinbach is just a fucking joke, but the developers knew this and they completely embraced it. Let's just say Rieinbach definitely deserves his fame. And on the complete other end of the spectrum, we have someone like Sierra Mikain. If Rieinbach is the one that makes you chuckle and sweat nervously expecting rainbow flags to show up at any minute, Sierra is the one that rips out your heart, kicks it around like a soccer ball and makes you question why this game is rated E. Never mind, it's rated T, I'm a stupid piece of shit. Sierra's story is anything but happy. Sierra is the wielder of the Moon Rune, which in itself is already a cursed rune, seeing as it dominates the mind of its wielder until he or she gains complete mastery over its power. When Sierra first gained the rune, this made her go on a bloody rampage across the country. She even had to contain herself in the woods to prevent her from hurting others. She eventually gained complete mastery over the rune, which led to the creation of Blue Moon Village, where she stored the Moon Rune. This basically sounds like Sierra has figured everything out and her life's been heading on the right track. But there's a twist. One of her villagers with the name of Necklord became obsessed with the power of the Moon Rune and thus stole it. This gave the villagers a choice: die by hunger or embrace their vampiric powers. Since Sierra had borne the rune for so long, she was unaffected by this, but most of her villagers went completely mad and tried to survive by eating others. This of course blows, and that's not even mentioning the Pannenberg affair. Literally, I'm not mentioning it. Reading through it on the wiki page already gave me a fucking headache. Due to her incredible despair-filled backstory, you'd expect Sierra to be a broken, depressing character. But she isn't. Sierra never lets her horrible past get to her, and she never plays the victim, which I can really respect in a character. Not like fucking Bella. And that's the last time anyone's ever compared Suikoden to Twilight. Otherwise I'll cut you. In the Cave of the Wind, a man awaits. For a destined hero to pick up the Star Dragon sword. His grandfather began, his father continued, and now only he is still standing, biding his time to finish the 300-year-old grudge that was passed down by his ancestors. His name... Seems like grudges for Necklord really do bring people together. Like the aforementioned Sierra Mikain, Marley is a vampire hunter out for Necklord's blood. This guy really has a habit of pissing off some pretty interesting people. However, there are some slight differences between Khan and Sierra. First off, I prefer Sierra's design. Secondly, her motives and backstory are also way more interesting than Khan's. And lastly, she's also way better in a battle perspective. So then why oh why do I prefer Khan? Is it sexism?
Yes.
Yeah, it's the Sugar Mountain case all over again, isn't it? To be fair, I do really like Khan's design, and though he may not be the best fighter, he's certainly competent. But his backstory is such a fucking mess. It's all like Necklord this and 300-year-old grudge that, mixed with some vampire racism every now and then, and it's not nearly as fleshed out as Sierra's. If Konami had mixed Khan with someone like Killy, we'd get, well, first off Alucard, but secondly also a much more interesting character. It sounds like I've just been constantly shitting over Khan, but I must be honest, I do really like him. It's just a shame that he isn't anywhere near as awesome as he could have been. Sorry Khan, but for my vampire hunting adventures, I'd either take the Star Dragon sword or Sierra, not you. Necklord! You fucking kidding me, mate? How big of an asshole do you need to be in order to not just piss off Sierra and Khan, not just half of the Thoron Liberation and Dunan Unification armies, but also Tengaar and Hix of all people? I don't say this very much, but Tengaar and Hix kind of have the perfect relationship going. Hix is a fucking pansy, but he's very protective when it comes to his girlfriend Tengaar. Seeing as he's from the warriors village of all things, his cowardice is not exactly an admirable character trait. And Tengaar is basically everything that Hix isn't but should be. She's brave, she's pushy, and she doesn't really think about anything she does. So in a sense, she's kind of like Lily, but she's better. The two complement each other perfectly in the two games that they're in, but I prefer them in Suikoden 2. They have probably the longest side story in the entire game, even though it's a very stupid, very lame, very annoying fetch quest. But I like them nonetheless. In battle, they are exactly what you'd expect. Hix is a very forgettable and weak frontline fighter, and Tengaar is a fucking monster. Give her an Earth rune, Palegate rune, Fire rune, Wind rune, I don't care! Just give her a random rune and watch as Tengaar transforms into a magic-using mass murderer. As for Hix, well, some kind of crazy wizard might make it work, but for a muggle piece of shit like me, no. Just stay out of my party, Hix. Yuber! Oh, how I've waited for this moment. Oh, Yuber, you magnificent bastard. Be it Suikoden 1, 2, or 3, Yuber is a character to be feared at all times. It's very simple. You cross him, you die. Wait, no. Ah, goddammit, all over the new carpet. The Bone Dragon, which appears in Greenhill in Suikoden 2 and is also one of the harder bosses in Suikoden 2, is his minion. His fucking minion! The only battle he's well and truly lost was against Godot. But of course, when things get too hot for him, Yuber hightails out of there like a
Fucking pussy!
1 minute you're fighting for your life, barely holding on, and the next... God fucking damn it, he's gone again. Call him Pesmerga, boys. Yuber is kind of like Mei in Overwatch. Incredibly fun and yet disgustingly powerful, ruining days and lives left and right with a sadistic laugh in your head. Or is that just me? Please call a doctor. Playing as Yuber is incredibly fun, seeing as literally nobody can stand up to you. But being on the receiving end is a godforsaken fucking nightmare. Trying to attack Yuber with any kind of physical attack is basically suicide, as he'll simply parry it, counter it, and that's kind of the end, really. And it's also quite a shame, seeing as he's only playable for a very short amount of time. But during that time, the world becomes a fucking bloodbath, I'll tell you.
And it's so easy when you're evil. This is the life you see. The devil tips his hat to me. I do it all because I'm evil. And I do it all for free. Your tears are all the pay I'll ever need.
This comes from a man who has grown up with cats. He has lived around cats for a very large part of his childhood, and he has even had an irrational fear of dogs until a couple of years ago. I love these faggots. It doesn't matter which game they're in, I love every single kobold. Be it the first representatives of their race, Kudomimi and Gon, the stoic badass Ridley and his fancy son Boris, the childish Gabosha, the foolish Gangan, the lovable Muto, and even Gao, I love them all. Are they important in the grand scheme of things? No. Are they strong or good in battle at all? No. And hell, they even talk like babies. But they're just so damn lovable. No, they don't excel at anything, and yes, technically they are useless. But do you really care when they look like this? Not to mention act like this. These lovable furry oafs are just too great to leave out. So then what's my opinion on the Ney Kobolds? I hate him with every single fiber of my fucking being. Godverdomme, niet opnieuw. Shoutout naar Ruru en Downey. He sees all, he knows all, and all the women need his love.
Richmond.
At first sight, Richmond looks like a big goofy idiot. But what I said before? Yeah, that wasn't a joke. Richmond is the first taste we ever got of the detectives in the Suikoden series. Detectives like Richmond and Kid serve two purposes. Giving incredibly vague details about how to recruit a certain character that you don't have yet, and further develop the cast by the way of secrets for every individual character. This makes him both useful, at least sometimes, and entertaining. But unlike Kid, who's nothing more than a gateway for expanding other characters, Richmond is actually really good. During his recruitment, Richmond is basically a complete asshole, playing heads and tails with you with a fake fucking coin. Yeah, okay, let's try heads. Oh, fuck. Okay, let's try again. No problem. Yeah, I mean, it's not gonna be tails twice. God damn it. Last time, I choose heads. Richmond, I will end you! Has anybody got a fucking coin around here? Yes, thank you, sir. Amazing. I love you. Let's see it now, you cheating bastard. Alright, 1, 2, heads!
I hope your entire family gets molested.
But Richmond has insane charm, and wherever he goes, he is accompanied by a smooth jazz theme. What more could you ask for? Well, we've almost reached number 1. So you know what time it is. Honorable mentions time.
Holy shit, no!
No! God! No! God, please, no! 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 No!
Lapant, Shu, Quanda Rossman, Pesmerga, Teresa, Fubar, Siegfried, Hugo, Valeria, Fitcher, Clive, Cecile, Flick, Kirkis, Killy, Rena, Saint Loanites, Ace, Queen, Jacques, Joker, Wakaba, Long John John, Maximilian, Camus, Miklotov, Lebrant, Connell, Simone, Rikimaru, Ake, Percival, Nate, Tuta, Mazes, Bodo, Leona, Adlai, Sheena, Emilia, Annalie, Amada, Zamza, Mina, Vassal the Bull, Sylvina, Topo, Ayla, Augustine the Boar, Sid, Olan, Gaspar, Bob, Apple, Ailey, Shin, Klaus, Freed, Nanami, Templeton, Hilda, Gremio, Chris, Ada, Piccolo, Sergeant Joe, Mel, Vicky and young Vicky. What is this wizardry? Gadget Z, Koroku, Kogoro, Dupa, Halek, Thomas, Salome, Juan, Yun, Dios, Sasarai, Mua, Duke, Watery, Sebastian, Hortes the Seventh, Peggy, Kid, Anne, Sheba, Caesar, Iku, Nadir, Ayame, Albert, Twykin, Wilder, Red, Sarah, Luck, Ted, Ivanov, the Star Dragon Sword, Shizu, Bartz, Fuch, Odessa, Snow, Tal, Kenneth, Franz, Humphrey, Nabokov. Holy shit, these guys look like they're about to drop the hottest mixtape of the Gate Rune Wars. George Prime, Fusulu, Leon Silverberg, Tony, Joshua Crowley, Sidonia, Hans, Ruby, Taki, Estella, Landis, Rody, Troy, Pico, Kasim, Matthew, Cassios, Alberto, Griffith, Yuzu, Milik Oppenheimer, Luca Blight, Lilin, Pon, Leonardo, Window, Han Cunningham, Stallion, Morgan, Melodier, Blackman, Ladon. I just keep adding characters, someone please stop me. Kunto, Taiho, George, Kessler, AK, Hugo, and Shiro. And you know what, fuck it, just add Togger too. Remind me to never do an honorable mentions ever fucking again. I'm gonna make this very quick, very simple, because let's be honest, everyone who's played Suikoden has expected this. Suikoden's main characters get a lot of development, and it's understandable. But at the end of the game, I'm sick of seeing them. But there are always exceptions. We all saw this one coming, didn't we? Victor is Suikoden's greatest character, without a doubt. Every character that I have mentioned up until now is good, yes, but they're always lacking in one area. Yuber lacks screen time, the Kobolds lack battle capabilities, and so on and so forth. Victor lacks absolutely nothing. I mean, he's got the screen time, holy shit he's got the screen time. But you can simply slap a killer rune or a double beat rune on him and shed a whole lot of to upgrade his weapons and watch the money flow in as Victor reaches damage numbers that I can't even comprehend. His only drawback is that he's kinda slow, but do you really care? Victor takes the spot of not only the strongest, but also the best character in Suikoden. And seeing as now every other Suikoden game is a Japanese exclusive, I don't think he'll be toppled too quickly. This was the Ascending Soup, and now I'm fucking out of here. I'm terrible at outros.